This is Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. Welcome and thank you for watching. My name is Elsie Godwin and I'm here with Ifeoluwa Omai and Ifeoluwa Oshokeye.
Hi.
What up?
How are you doing?
Managing.
Okay. You're better than yesterday, I guess. All right. Moving on, we have a scoop on Madonna, who they say she has turned down a proposal 3 times. But I read the story, and I don't think it's like a proper proposal. I think it's a conversation between friends where you be like, okay, would you marry me? And then she says no. I don't know. I mean, we're not there. Yeah. But I think the way his own quotes, the things he said were quoted, I don't think it was that serious proposal. That's how I feel. But I love their friendship. Yeah. I think it's also important for us to understand when we should cherish the friendship we have and not trying to ruin it with relationship. Because sometimes, as much as relationship can be something very beautiful, it just puts a strain on beautiful relationships. And if you know you cannot hold on to that friendship even when the relationship decides to end, then sometimes it's better to just hold on to the friendship. And they've been friends for since 1989. Yeah. That's a long time to be friends with someone and also work together. So I don't know if this is a real proposal, but I'm sure she has her reasons.
I agree. I think when I saw the headline, it looked like he actually went down on his knees and they were even dating. But there's no sign anywhere that they actually dated like seriously. So I think he was infatuated with her because they asked him, did you ever think that there was a little bit of like love for Madonna? I say kind of, sort of. So I guess it was really casual, and the love was probably from one side more than the other. Obviously, like they must have been friends, but it looks like he's had a crush on her for a long time, and he wanted to marry her, and she said no. That's what I got.
But if they did not date, I mean, I think I understand this scenario. Sorry, you've not said what you have to say, but I know I have a very close friend. Like, if I do best friend, I could call him my best friend. And he's said to me a few times, like, Elsie, should we start dating? Elsie, don't you think we should just get married? Yeah. So I feel like this was the vibe. I don't know if I'm not getting what I was
So wait, do you think that your friend is in love with you in any way?
For you to be my friend, you have to love me in some
type
of way.
No, but in love and love is different. Like I can love Ife and you, but I'm in love with my man. So
are you supposed to be in love with your best friend? I think some people are in love with their best friend.
They should marry.
Not necessarily.
I mean romantic love.
Romantic love.
Do you think that your friend will?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Because we are getting the
man will understand, because sometimes they don't share their.
The way you're blushing, you're in love without your best friend. You're just trying to mask it. If you are watching, she's in love. This is the time for you to shoot your shots.
Propose. I will help you.
All right, so basically, when I watched the interview and they asked him, you guys are correct on the ground that he was like kind of sort of, and they asked him, and he was like, yeah, he wanted to marry her and he proposed. So from what I got, I think he actually proposed. But like you started with, there's some relationships that are better off left as friends with benefits or friends with others.
Benefits should never
That's
enter.
your opinion. I'm talking about
I did not say, okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about my opinion. I'm talking about some friendships that are better off as friends with benefit, because the moment a relationship and strings are attached and emotions are involved, things become to get awkward. You know, you can't speak. But I know about relationships where even your friend with benefits will be replying your real girlfriend. Do you understand? And it works.
Wait, say that again.
No,
your friend
it happens. I think I can't do that.
You can be the friend with benefits replying.
I can't do that. I think I can.
Yeah. So
especially if I'm not in the space of thinking I want to be your girlfriend. Or
do you get like it's just so? I think that's the case with Madonna and Jean. I think that's what's going on with the both of them. They're just.
I think it's one-sided as well. I think he loves her and wants to be with this chick. And
well,
I think
until she grants an interview and she says, no, she could be like, yeah, I'm in love with him, but we have a better relationship as friends.
Yeah, nah. I don't believe that.
Why not? That
happens. I just think that if a woman has gotten to be...
I think it's because you're committed and you're married.
No, I think that...
Who is she married to?
She's married. She calls herself a married woman. You're single?
She's single.
I'm single till I'm married. I'm dating someone, but I'm not married. I'm single. If you give me a form now, will I take marriage?
Yes, if you're watching, because I know you watch. just denied you.
I did not. I did not. Anyway, I'm saying that there's two different aspects. Like I love this person with all my heart, and then there's the I'm in love with you. Like,
and you know, there's a kind of love that comes from just being around a person so much, and then I think it's basically being attached to the idea of this person, and then we think it's love. Yeah. But the question is it really love?
Have you seen any woman who would be in love with you? Like I can see my future with you, and they wouldn't want to pursue that.
Yeah. Because if I know your history, if I know you're a player, if I know this, I know that, okay, this is the man I want to be with. But I know your type of industry. This is a very iconic fashion designer that has a lot of women around
That's
him.
a man. That's how men think. A woman, even if you are a player.
So why won't you let me talk as a man?
No, my question was about women.
It was for women, not for men.
Okay.
So if a woman, even if you are a player,
there's no reason why they would
believe that she can change you.
No. Not all women are programmed like that. There's some women that they have just accepted their fate, and they just know that, okay, look, no matter how hard I try, I can only be in a casual relationship with this person.
That person's not in love.
If I want to maintain my sanity, it doesn't mean I don't love you. Haven't you seen open relationship? I think we discussed a married couple that they only see 3 times a week or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
But they're still together, aren't they?
But they're still together.
Yeah, exactly.
They found a way to walk around
it.
Because they found a way to walk around
exactly.
it. If I find a way to walk around the fact that, okay, I am in love with you, but I know that if I get married to you, I will remain unhappy.
I talk about marriage. I say being together. Like, have you ever seen a woman who is in love with someone and doesn't want to be with the person?
Especially when the person is also kind of in love with you.
Yeah, yes, I have. Okay. It's complicated. Life is complicated.
I don't do complicated, so I get it. Anyway, moving on. Rapper Meek Mill he's been granted new trial on 2018 drugs and weapon conviction. This is a good
win for the black community.
Oh, really? Tell us more.
Oh, no, you were going to say something.
No, I wasn't actually. I just...
Okay, so I made it to win for the black community because we've been talking about black rappers and African Americans being profiled by the police, and we know how Meek Mill has been on probation for his drug and weapon charges since 2008. He's been on probation for over a decade now, and that is so ridiculous. And then during his music video, I think in 2017, when he did the wheelie with his motorbike, he was sentenced to jail for 4 years again because of violation of probation and all of that. So and then he spent 5 months. He got out. He got into the justice reform system, and he's trying to do all of this great work. So I think people are beginning to see that, look, not every black man is up to no good, because even the people that were involved in the case, the policeman who is no longer in the force was a corrupt one, was not credible during the trial. The judge too, they said, was partial, and I'm glad that all of this is coming out. And so it's like, at the end of the day, our voice is being heard. That's how I say it.
It was also interesting to see that she was infiltrated by him, like saying,
I was laughing.
Saying that, like, oh, give me a shout out. I think it's very easy for people to mix business and pleasure together. As soon as I read that, I was like, that explains why your probation is so long. People don't give probations for 10 years on a regular basis. So I'm guessing that was her way of, like, seeing this guy. Like, you have to come in once in a while, or like, come and check over me and say hi. I'm really glad that he is where he is. I saw his tweets. First of all, I don't understand. I know he's happy, but I didn't get the, like, when he quoted, "What the fuck, God?" right beside, when he said, "Today is late, blah, 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 blah."
What the fuck, God playing for something? Yeah, I think he was trying to say, there is a quote that I could relate with that. I don't know if I can remember it now, but it has something to do with you not understanding God's plan. But then you're trying to find your way around it, and then you finally realize that, okay, you're just fooling yourself trying to make ways around it.
That's what I also thought. But the way he wrote it and, like, he quoted it, I think it's a reference to maybe a song. I don't know. Maybe a song or something. But I tried to follow the thread on Twitter, but I didn't really. It seems like everybody knew what I was talking about. Yeah. So I'm happy for him. I really am. I think it's a win, and I hope that this kind of, like, favor will also spread onto A$AP Rocky in Sweden as well.
We hope so. Time for a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have some more stories for you. We'll be right back.
It's where the big stories live. This is Plus TV Africa.
When I did it, I was
full-on, hands-on on the whole project.
So how did you deal with it? All of that negativity?
I got depressed, obviously. Duh. Haven't you heard?
I've got 2 of the hottest topics currently trending on social media. If you've seen the word Senate trending on Twitter, that's because the Nigerian police force has gone Trump style.
I haven't shared this with anyone, but I reckon I get about like 100 people asking for help a day. That's a fact. I can prove that.
Welcome back. Elton John's AIDS fundraiser brings in $6 million for Kenya HIV testing. He had this party on Wednesday night, and I like how they just have fun and have fun for a good cause. I think that's one thing we need to start emulating here, because most times when an NGO or any platform wants to get money for a good cause, it's really difficult. Sometimes you need to start going to corporate organizations, reach out to family members. Family members are most times struggling, but I understand the idea of saying if you drop if 10 people drops 15 naira or something, it's a big deal for some people, right? I understand that, but I think we should look into using this type of model, except you've heard it happening here that I don't know.
No, apart from the Banky W thing, which was backlashed for, because Banky W was saying something about him trying to, I can't remember the course he said he was doing it for, but he was auctioning his Range Rover after
it was for an orphanage in Sule.
Exactly, after I was trolled by some ladies that Malcolm Banky W used to be driving this old Range Rover car and all of that. So, but after he did that, people were like, he's broke, he spent money on campaign, he needed money for campaign. So, you know, with stuff like that, you won't even feel motivated to even want to start. And then you know the Nigerian mentality. The moment you want to say, oh, I'm raising money for a good cause, even if you open like a fund, a GoFundMe account for a sick person and all that, people realize it's scam. That's the first thing that comes into your head. So I think it takes a level of popularity or a level of importance for people to take such things. Someone like Elton John can obviously pull in world-class stars if he wants to. So, but I like what I like most. So let's forget about Nigeria, or let's go back to the story about Elton John raising about 6 million. I heard since this foundation was opened in 2002, I read that they've raised about $450 million for this type of courses, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. That's 2002 to 2019. That's about 17 years. So in the space of 17 years, you've been able to raise 400, and that's someone's fortune in a lifetime. Do you understand? And then this 6 million stuff, it's about HIV AIDS in Kenya. Now, a lot of people are stigmatized. In fact, if you tell 80% of Nigerians now that, oh, we're offering free HIV tests, just come to our clinic, we'll give you free, people will be scared because they do not want to be stigmatized. They don't want people to know. So this is a self-kit. So you can go to the corner of your bedroom. In fact, if you don't even want your mirror to see, you can do it. You can test yourself and find out if you're positive or negative. So this is very, very encouraging. And I think this should also be brought down to Nigeria as well, because a lot of people are even scared to check out their status in the first place, and a lot of people are suffering from HIV AIDS and they don't even know about it. Do you understand? And
they hide under the saying that what they don't know will not kill them. So it's better you don't know and live your life. Like when you just know, there's this notion that the sickness starts coming down.
But that's an elite trait saying to start with, because what you know, and you know you're suffering for, you can treat it on time, and you would have a longer period. Do you understand? And you have a longer period to live than someone who didn't know. You've been habitating it in your body for so many years, and you're spreading it, you're causing problems for a lot of people, and then you will say what you don't know will not kill me. And right now we have people that are both AIDS patients and they're married. Now they're telling you there's nothing wrong with that. And it's not guaranteed that you would have a child that would also come out with that same disease. So I think right now it's all about enlightenment. It's all about people knowing the right thing to do, which is why we always advocate for education. Education is important. I may be talking like this because I have a solid background in my education, but what about people that don't? So that is why we need to advocate for more stuff like this, get people to get involved, get people to talk about this. Let's get fundraisers, because I can can bet you,
It's
even in
also-
Lekki alone.
Wow. Wow.
I
It's
rest my
also
case.
important to know that this is very important for Kenya because they are one of the 6 countries in Africa with high burden of HIV rates. So it is not just a random country in Africa. It is, they're working with statistics. And so those are 2 things we don't have now. We don't have statistics for ourselves. We don't have fundraisers like this. And
so I was going to go into the politics of it as well. Elton John is an embodiment of the LGBTQ community.
Go there.
He is, and the HIV is one of those things that they suffer from. So it's not far-fetched why he is pairing with that. But it was also very interesting.
Sorry to cut you. You might not be the best person to answer the question, but it keeps coming to my mind. Why are they prone to this disease? Why?
I think
exactly?
it's so the way HIV is transmitted is that the bigger the hole, the easier. Which is why, no, which is why, if I had AIDS, right, and he had sex with me, it would be easy for me to catch it immediately. But if I had AIDS,
yeah,
and I slept with people who didn't have AIDS, he won't get it. He might not even get it.
Yeah.
So it's just because of the tiny hole on the penis that doesn't allow AIDS to pass through as easily. But with the backside, then obviously it's bigger, which is one of the reasons why they get it that easily.
So regardless
but she hasn't made her point. You know, I caught her.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting to see that Elton chose Kenya because Kenya is still very anti-LGBTQ community. We have a lot more statistics of countries that have AIDS. Like SA now is the capital of that, and they are LGBTQ friendly. So I would have even thought he would have gone to a place where that really accepted him. But I hope this is also a way for Kenya to see that they're not bad people. And look at one person that you are stigmatizing, putting in jail, giving you the opportunity now to help your people. So I hope that they see that past the LGBTQ, past the differences, they're human beings with good hearts. So I kind of picked up on that as well. With Kenya, they have a very like a large portion of people with AIDS, but it just made me think as well, away from choosing a country that wasn't LGBTQ. Why Kenya? Because even with Nigeria, our stats are pretty high, but the thing that goes for us is the percentage. But there's actually more people with AIDS in Nigeria than in South Africa. It's just a per population.
Are you sure about
yes. Per population. So in South Africa, there's 54 million people, and maybe 60% of that have AIDS.
That's terrible.
60% is like maybe like 40 million people. There's maybe like 80 million people in Nigeria that have AIDS, but 80 million people is not 60% of Nigerian population.
We don't have up to 80 million.
No, I'm giving you these are guys, these are hypothetical facts, right?
Okay,
I'm just trying to explain to you that the number we have for people with AIDS
compared to the
is
percentage,
more, but it's not a large percentage per population.
The good thing is we are not in the top 6, right?
No.
So let's just stay away from this. So we have too many problems going on. But you want to say something?
I just wanted to advocate for protected sex. If you have to have sex, stay protected.
All right, it's time for a quick break. But when we return, we'll have time for 1 or 2 more stories. We'll be right back.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect am. No talk, dem go beat you. Na 2,500 I dey pay.
Welcome back. Up to Ghana right now. David Bolton, bemoans, says too many music talents are hypnotized by Afrobeat's popularity. This is coming off the back of, I think it's a high life band. I can't remember their name now. That was being recognized in Vis-a-Vis. I think it's a reality show. and they were getting the recognition. And for some people, or even top music talent managers in Ghana, they were like, that was the first time they were hearing about that band. And he granted an interview and was saying that we are being carried away by Afrobeat, and then we're not paying attention to other type of music that we have. And I think it's true. 100. Even here, it's very, very true, because he also mentioned something about airplay. Like if you say you want to do high life, for example, and you are going to choose that as your genre, the possibility of your song being played on radio is almost zero, because you have platforms for urban music, you have platforms for Afropop, you have platforms for classic. I'm not sure, even in Nigeria here, I don't know about Ghana, I'm not sure we have a radio station that focuses on high life. High life only, all true. What platform is that?
I can't remember, but yes, you do. You have stations that hold the speakers tree and they play only high life.
In Nigeria.
Oh, in Nigeria. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about in Ghana.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. So in Nigeria, do you think there is?
No, I don't think so. I think we would have, but they would have mixed.
Well, maybe let me not say in Nigeria. Let's say in Lagos.
Yeah, in Lagos. I don't know of any though. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know of any. But I agree 100% with what he's saying, because you know, I've always been saying something about a lot of artists being sellouts. You start out as an R&B singer, the next thing you're doing the Zanku dance. They call it versatility.
What's wrong with this Zanku? Call the genre of their music. Leave our dance for us.
Zanku has become a genre on its own now, because when you make a sound like that, man, they call it the Zanku sound. Oh, you think so? All right, watch in 5 years. Okay. So, like I was saying, I keep saying this thing about being a sellout, and a lot of them would say, "Oh no, we're just being versatile, but I think it's actually
just looking for money in the pockets.
Yes, do you understand? Like, if we do not stand up for our original sound, like first of all, there was a time when Fela was the S in Nigeria. Do you understand? Everybody felt like, yeah, if you're not listening to Fela, if you're not listening to Afrobeat, but these days we have people like Femi Kuti, apart from a few of us who are still Afrobeat enthusiasts, and what's it called, the likes of them Burna Boy that still try to infuse Afrobeat, Wizkid that infuse Afrobeat in their sound. Probably it would have faded off, because we have people like Seun Kuti that was nominated for the Grammy. But if I ask you, do you know any song from that album, would you be able to tell me?
There's so many albums I don't know any song.
No, I'm talking about Seun Kuti.
I know. I'm saying you cannot use that as a yardstick, because there are so many artists that I talk about and know about, but I've not really sat down to say.
Yeah, but if I now sing one of their songs, I know that song. True. But if I probably sing a Seun Kuti song, you're still like, who's that?
Asha is a good example. Asha gets more recognition abroad than she gets here. Nneka is another example. Yeah. She gets those are people that don't have the typical Bagbo sound, and they're doing really well.
Is that another genre now, Bagbo?
You see, that was the first that came, not to bring back Lion King, but that was the first thing that came to my mind as to why Davido didn't qualify for that. He's hardworking, he has talent of his own, but he has that like, it's just really like, like it's a bit like, yeah. Also, you see, the good thing about that is it has a vibe. Right? It has a vibe. And I know that some people here don't really value, like, I want to chill and enjoy quality music. It's more of like, I want to enjoy a vibe.
I like the vibe you're using, the word you use now, because yesterday I was at an event, and I mean, almost all the whole music heads were there yesterday. Yeah. And we had the head of YouTube Music Worldwide was there. And he said, when we asked him the difference between our music here and over there, that was the word he used. He said, Nigerians, they have a vibe that you cannot take away from them. That vibe is what is selling the market.
Exactly.
So if you see someone that decides to keep going with that vibe, because it is commercially viable, are you going to blame the person?
No, and that's why the line gets blurred, because then how do you as an artist find a balance between like keeping my originality and making music of that I want, or the difference between pleasing your people? Because here, I'm not even gonna lie, like the way I listen to music outside of Nigeria is very different. I'm less stressed, I'm healthier, so I can listen to like soulful music and like listen to the lyrics and like get where she's coming from. Here, I just want to like forget all of the struggles that I'm going through and like dance and like move my body and just forget about that. That's the vibe. So I understand where they're coming from, but also like context matters, because like how are we really gonna have, imagine playing Sam Smith every day? in Lagos traffic, you'll just be sad. You just start crying. I don't want Sam Smith. Like, I want like Davido's Bagbo and like let me really just. So I don't know. I understand.
But at the end of the day, I think what Bolton is saying is that, man, we're losing our originality, and then we're focusing on the Afro pop sound, especially now that it's beginning to garner a lot of international recognition. Everybody wants to feature an Afrobeat artist in Nigeria, so yeah. So I think we need to be more original. You know, we need more people like Asha. Simi is one of the person that is keeping it real. In as much as she makes very commercial
Let's
music.
not forget Tiwa Savage too.
Tiwa Savage is that
No, it's not so.
You know?
There is
It's
still.
still
You know why I'm mentioning Tiwa Savage? You know why?
She comes to the.
Do you understand the person that talked about her originality a few days ago? Why I love her is the fact that she has mixed with these people. In fact, she came from there because she used to write songs for these elite artists from the abroad. That's what they call them.
She leeches off that. When she features on the Bagbo song, she's all like,
okay,
but it's still like,
you're just so mean, man.
So Tiwa Savage, no disrespect, but you're a bad artist.
That's how we wrap up. Ife does not know where he wants to stand, really. And join us later this afternoon. Ife Oshoke, join us later this afternoon for fresh episode of the program. Until then, my thank you always go to my co-anchors, Ife Oluwa Oshoke and Ife Oluwa Omai, and the entire production team. My name is Elsie Godwin saying thank you for watching and see you later.